interesting to bring it to your attention. The other thing interesting about the Awan brothers is they work for these 31 different Democrats, and they were all kind of put in place by Debbie Wasserman Schultz. The interesting thing that happened after the death of that Navy SEAL, you saw Karen Owens in the previous picture, there was 20 burglaries in these different, of these 31 different Democratic representatives on Capitol Hill. So this morning I said to the Capitol Police who's doing the investigation, let's look at the cameras, let's do these other things. I also mentioned that, don't throw stones at Donald Trump. Kislyak, the Russian ambassador, visited the White House 6 times during the uranium talks. I also said maybe it's a new start for the Democratic Party here with Tulsi Gabbard rather than Greg Meeks. Greg Meeks has been pointed out. He's hired 3 or 4 of the Awans, and he's been pointed out by CREW, which is the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, as the most corrupt House of Representative. And these Awans actually received $5 million over a period of about 12 years, being in very highly paid positions. And I compared them to, their burglaries or the potential burglaries that they're thought of top secret information from intelligence, Homeland Security, and Foreign Affairs to this burglary, if you want to call it that, by Aaron Swartz. He was a digital rights activist who went into MIT and stole, quote unquote, public domain information that was about scientific papers and so forth from MIT. So there was an independent server and so forth, and he was hounded by the FBI. They were going to give him 50 years for that. Well, what's interesting in this case of the Awan brothers, this is the oldest Awan brother, Imran, they had an external server. And so they were feeding information from these 3 most sensitive committees to this external server, just like Huma's server and just like Hillary's server. Yet only the Capitol Police are investigating. The FBI has decided not to investigate, which is very interesting. Now, this is the article I showed you before was from today's New York Post. Capitol Hill staffers probe for theft working for New York congressmen. So this isn't fake news or anything like that. That was reported today in the New York Post. And here are other articles. This is from the Daily Signal linking these congressional aides to Hezbollah-connected fugitives. And I won't go into detail here, other than to say, going back to that Schwartz case, the FBI threatened Aaron Swartz with 50 years, and he eventually committed suicide looking at that kind of sentence, and then they gave him a plea reduction afterward. Again, this is the Secretary, Representative Speer asked for top secret compartmentalized information access, which are the SCIFs, which is the most top secret information in Washington. Again, Aaron Swartz, this is being investigated by the Capitol Police. Aaron Swartz downloading just public domain information was investigated by the FBI. And then here are their names. This is Abid Awan, Imran Awan, excuse me for the focus, and then Jamal Awan. We also have their full names and full emails and so forth, and their middle names. And then there's 2 women as well, 2 wives. And it looks like they've just been involved in a lot of these kind of, looks like a money laundering scheme to funnel money through these car dealerships. There's 2 different car dealerships involved here. And it's has been known as a well-known money laundering device. Final slide I'll show you, Scottie and Kayleigh, is we've also talked about this Huma 650,000 emails, about how the New York police officer Boyce said that there was all this classified information on those. We've called for the immediate release of the metadata so that we can connect these 19 people who had Gmail accounts at the State Department that were going around the Federal Records Act, so that we could connect them to other schemes within inside Washington, like this Awan server. We've also called for the Assistant Deputy Director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, to recuse himself from this case, also from the Huma server case and the Hillary email case and the Clinton Foundation case. And that's a wrap up for today.